Hello, I'm John Concklin, Associate Conductor and Creative Director with the Cobb Symphony Orchestra. Joining me today is Jen Mitchell, trombonist with the CSO. Jen is an active composer, and we will be premiering one of her pieces on January 9th, entitled The Pond, alongside with Copland's Appalachian Spring. Jen, thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me here.
Sure. Now, there is a stigma about 20th century music, and as a musician, I will be honest, there is some scary stuff out there, and you know, it scares away people from the concert hall. So would you speak to that conception, and then also about how you feel a modern day composer writes music that will be accepted by the general public while also maintaining the artistic quality?
You know, it's unfortunate that people have this stigma surrounding modern music. There was a point, in the mid 20th century that things did start to sound really unusual and different and not necessarily palatable for the general public. But I mean, this is no longer the 20th century.
That's right.
We are now in the 21st century. It's still new music, but I feel like, or at least I anyway, and the composers that I've heard in recent years are embracing this new tonality as opposed to the atonality that was so ever present in the 20th century. And it's just unfortunate that the general public hasn't caught up with us yet.
You mentioned something about atonality and tonality, and for our viewers who are not necessarily music aficionados, but they just enjoy music, could you explain what atonality and tonality means?
Well, what atonality versus tonality means for me is, and I actually explained this to my mother, who's not a musician, by the way. Tonality allows, it gives you something to anchor onto. It gives you something to, it's got something catchy to it. You can sing a melody from, more often than not, from a tonal piece. You can identify a melody coming back and repeating itself in, or you can hear a harmonic progression coming back and repeating itself through the course of a piece. Or even certain rhythms you can hear coming back and repeating themselves. It just gives you something to listen for. And in Genland, atonality just doesn't afford you that kind of luxury. And so it's just, I don't know, it's more mathematical.
I see. So atonality would be more abstract.
Yeah.
And versus tonality, which would sort of give someone something to sink their teeth into.
Yeah.
Great. Now your piece is entitled The Pond, and it's written in 3 movements. Now something as a musician I always sort of wondered about was, you go to concert and a symphony's in 4 movements and a concerto's in 3 movements, and you have all these standards. So now why did you choose 3 movements for this piece?
Because technically these are 3 movements that are pulled from a larger work.
Okay.
Ultimately, these 3 movements are pulled from the 2nd act of a 3-act ballet.
Now, I have to let the cat out of the bag. You, as I hear, have a 3rd or 4th career. Aside from teaching at Kennesaw State and then also playing with us in the CSO, there's something that you do on the side. And I'll let you tell everyone what that is.
In addition to teaching music and performing music and writing music, I am also a DJ.
Now, can you tell me how that possibly or does not affect the music that you write?
Absolutely. I've already written a couple of pieces for DJ and ensemble. I wrote a piece for DJ and percussion ensemble, and then also a piece for DJ and percussionist. And I'm writing a piece now, actually I'm finishing up a piece now for DJ and tuba. Yeah. It's awesome. It's called Buddha and the Breakdancer.
Really? Well, those are 2 things that don't necessarily go together.
Not at all. It's great. It's great. Initially, my classical training informed my DJing. I play electronica, so I play at clubs and bistros and little places in Atlanta. And my classical training informed my ear with phrasing of larger sets of music. You know, you're playing records for 45 minutes. How do you want to create the peaks and valleys of this set? So that's how my classical training informed my DJing. Well, when I got more involved in my classical music, my DJing started to inform that. I was still thinking about overall form of how I wanted my pieces to work, but I was relating it from how I did with my DJ sets. It was really cool how it all just kind of turned back on itself. So, fortunately for me, because I mean, I've been DJing since 1994, so at least I like to think that I've mastered the art of beat matching and creating a dynamic set that that people enjoy. But I was ready to kind of try my hand at extended technique for DJ beyond just stopping and starting records and scratching. There's some scratching in the last couple of pieces that I've written, but the last piece I wrote for DJ and percussion, I actually had to glue material to records and played the needle on different materials. It was on the platter, but corduroy sounds really cool. I created sounds that have never been heard by the human ear before, which is really exciting
cool.
For me as a composer and musician and DJ all in one, doing all that.
That's great. Well, we're all looking forward to hearing your piece on January 9th.
I'm so excited to see us playing my piece.
Great. Well, thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much.